Hi guys, I'm Brittany Fontana. Thank you for tuning in to the Family First Life Emerald City YouTube channel. I have the honor today to present not only our agency owner, but as we like to say, the man, the myth, the legend, Brad Allan. Everyone, please, let's give a huge round of applause. Brad, so how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing, Brittany?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm speaking to you, so I have no complaints there. I know whenever we speak, I always leave with 10 new sayings. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Now, Brad, I know we all love the hashtag Be Like Brad. We use that because you have such a presence here at Family First Life at being a top agent and leader here. But the $1 million question is, how do we be like Brad? So tell us how we do it.
Yeah. So I think that originated with John Gavin. John's the one that brought me into the organization. And I think he found himself saying it again. People would ask him, what should I do? And it would be, well, just be like Brad. And so I think I honestly don't know. If you were to ask me what, I do to have the results that I have, if that's one way of kind of defining it, is I'm very consistent. I'm consistent with my schedule. I'm consistent with my investment. I'm consistent with my attitude towards going out and serving the community that I live in and bringing people into the organization to share in that opportunity. I'm just very consistent. I think if you ask me to do something, you can count on me for saying yes. And I work hard. I mean, it's not that complicated. I don't know what, I honestly don't know why we need a hashtag, but it is what it is.
That's awesome, Brad. And I know a little bit, obviously, because you are our agency owner and we have built a great work relationship, and you've really helped me understand not only this industry, but the Family First Life system and really the values in it. But Brad, I know you came with zero experience in sales and didn't have a sale before this. And we know again, time and time again, you just have crushed it with protecting families. How did you end up at FFL? I mean, who found you?
Sure.
How are you here?
That's one of my favorite stories. So I got licensed in 2016 in the winter. I think it was like November, December of 2016. And I made my first sale. I wrote my first policy mid-July 2018. So I went over a year and a half without making a single sale. I didn't write one application. I did sit with one prospective client, my firstborn child, and he wanted to think about it. So yeah, clearly not very good at this. But what that tells you is I'm not a quitter. And I think that's really important because you'll be challenged. You'll have good days, bad days. They're just a day, but it's really very much a mental game of staying positive and staying focused. So I'm not a quitter. And I was with two captive agencies before I came to Family First Life, and they did not have leads. So when I got to Family First Life and they said, well, we're a lead-based system. You buy leads, you dial them, you set appointments, you sit with families, you protect them. And my first question was, how many can I buy? And it's like, well, as many as you want. So I bought a lot of leads, every kind of lead. In my first 3 weeks, 19 families. In my first 3 weeks, I'd gone a year and a half, 0 families. And in my first 3 weeks, 19 families. So it's like, oh, well, this is super easy. And then I was a knucklehead. I thought I could turn it on and turn it off. And so I ended up in the 6-month period, in my first 6 months to close out 2018, I helped about 80 families. And in 2019, I really started to take this seriously. and I ended up number 6 in the country overall for the number of families that I was able to protect. The year after that, 2020, I was number 2 in the country for the number of families protected. And then this last year, 2021, I was back to number 6 again because, I had some distractions, and those distractions are legit. Some you can't avoid, health issues, whatever. But my main advice would be eliminate the distractions for sure to the best of your ability, because this isn't complicated. It's about focus. If you don't have focus, you will fail. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter who you are. If you can't focus, you're in trouble.
Game over.
Yeah,
definitely. And I think one of the biggest takeaways too from what you were saying is really, again, anyone can do this. You came with 0 sales previous. I mean, you had gotten licensed 2016 and were not, successful at the previous IMOs. So it really just shows you, one, that anyone can do this, and that FFL has the right system to be successful. We have the resources and tools that an agent can take and run with it. And really, I mean, you're a perfect example of that. Anything is possible here at Family First Life. So thank you for dedicating and put all your hard work in and showing that story. I think it's so important for people to hear that you don't need to come with an extensive amount of knowledge or experience. I mean, we've seen people all walks of life come into this and be beyond successful. So thank you for that, Brad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, also, Brad, another question that we all want to know, $1 million question for you.
Yeah.
As we know, you are, as you mentioned too, a top producer multiple times, Hall of Famer multiple times. If you could estimate, the best to your knowledge, what has been the highest amount of families you've protected in just a month?
In 1 month. So I've had, I think, about 8 really kind of standout months where it was over 100 families. I think I had 1 month where it was like 136. But I think I've had 8 or 9 months where over 100. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's where the mic just gets dropped by Brad. He's all, over 100 families help, boom, in a month.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I go out into the field every day, and I get asked this question a lot, how do you get to that number? It's one household at a time. So when I leave the house at dark 30, I'm just trying to cover gas money.
Yeah.
It's like, I know what my expenses are. I know what my leads cost. I know what my back office, everything. I know what it costs to run my agency. And I'm just trying to baby steps. How much is my gasoline costing for the day? All right. Well, I got that one covered. Now, how much is my back office for the day? All right. Got that covered. Now let's step on the gas, because I know there's a goose egg in my future somewhere. I'm going to get skunked. It's inevitable. And so it's like, when I'm on a roll, and momentum's huge. When you're on a roll, you go faster because you don't know when you're going to come across that day where it's just like, I did the exact same thing and it just didn't work out. So yeah, don't take momentum for granted, but it's just one step at a time. Kind of like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yeah. Now, Brad, I think it's safe to say in your message, what you're trying to get across is obviously consistency and structure is huge for independently contracted agents, for our agents at Family First. Now,
absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about your schedule, what that structure looks like, and how you dealt with the, distractions and objections you get, and how you continue to stay consistent and structured through that?
Yeah. So when I first started, I just snapped into the schedule of FFL. So, you can dial whenever, but I'm in the Northwest group with Matt Smith. I'm in the North group with John Gavin, and their structure was Mondays and Thursdays you dial in the morning with the team. So you get on live dials, you put yourself out there, maybe uncomfortable, but So I'm told, I was the first person to volunteer to be on live dials. When it first got started, I was the first volunteer, which I volunteer for everything. I pretty much say yes to everything. It's like, you should buy more leads. Sure. What kind? All of them. So Mondays, you set up Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, you set up Friday, Saturday. Take Sunday off. Well, that worked for a couple of years. And then I didn't want to be in the office dialing, so I found a dialer. I've been through 10 dialers to find the one that I have now. Very expensive, and I would not recommend taking a shortcut. By the way, there are no shortcuts. So if you feel like, hey, I found something no one else has, don't do it. Shortcuts will not get you there. It's just all about hard work. But now I'm running 7 days a week. So I buy $4,300 of leads per week, and I have 30 to 40 appointments. I sit with 20 to 25, and I typically help between 20 to 30 families per week.
That's amazing. So clearly,
that's my schedule.
Yeah. So clearly, being consistent with your investments and your schedule has allowed you to have the success that you have here at Family First Life.
100%.
That's definitely something to replicate, everyone, is that consistency and that structure in your schedule. If you do, #want to be like Brad.
Right.
And lastly, Brad, to wrap up this interview, I really do want to pick your brain, because I know when I've spoken to agents and bringing them on board is they want to hit Hall of Fame. They want that red jacket. What would be, if you could give one advice, what would that be for a new agent wanting to hit Hall of Fame this year?
So every day counts. It's not too late. It's February 10th. So double your lead flow, double your dials, no matter what. However you need to make it happen, you need to sit in front of 20 people every week. If you sit in front of 20 people every week from this day, February 10th, 2022, every day counts. If you sit with 20 people every week, between now and the end of the year, you'll be sporting a red jacket at the next convention, without a doubt. You just have to be consistent in your investment, in your activity, in your mindset. And if you can sit in front of 20, you're golden. I mean, I don't care how many leads or how many dials or how many sets. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can't sit with 20 if you don't do all of that stuff. So however it is you get there, you need to sit with 20 and you need to do it consistently. And if you do that, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
That's awesome. Well, I hope all agents, new or seasoned, have taken that advice, and I hope to see plenty more of those red jackets next year at the convention. Thank you again, Brad, for taking time out of your day to do this interview with us. We always appreciate you as our agency owner and as a leader. Thank you also, you guys, for tuning in, watching this video. Please don't forget to click subscribe and follow the social media handles there below. And thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.